Welcome back to final round MPO lead card coverage of the 2018 Pennsylvania State Disc Golf Championships, sponsored by Latitude 64 and coverage powered by Millennium Golf Discs. I'm Kurt DeMarra. I'm joined by event co-director Justin Weaver.
Hello, everyone. So we are back at hole 12. Owen Hileman sitting at minus 15, Joel Freeman minus 11, Matt Dorsey minus 9, and Chris Villa at minus 7. Gold tee pad here, 537 feet, par 4. This hole starts out in the open. You have to shoot through I'd say about a 25-foot wide gap. And the first shot is just get it straight as you can. Some people are going to try to maybe get it. Owen's going for the flick. He might try to take his shot over top of the silver tee pad if he can.
Yeah.
Which that's the, for the lefty and flicker, that's the right shot. Uh-oh. And he's in a bit of a rough area.
Hole 12 for the second round, MPO players averaged a 4.05. Thank you to Aaron Howard for providing us with all of the statistical information for the tournament. It's definitely really nice to have that.
That is going to be very helpful in not just planning of amateur worlds, but also future tournaments. So, yeah, thank you, Aaron, again. Looks like Joel got he caught a early tree also. That trying to take that gap over top of the silver tee pad, even though for a flicker or a lefty it's very rewarding if you hit the shot, it's still a little bit narrower than just trying to throw the straight on shot, which is what Chris is going for. And he looks like he nailed it. That was a great shot. He's right down the fairway. And for his second shot, he's probably going to be able to throw a putter to get down to the green.
Yeah. It looks like he just had a very strange angle from his location there.
Yeah, he looks like he's playing a little bit of back and forth on the fairway here. Yeah, and again, this is a hole that it's not an insanely hard par 4, but at the same time can bite you in the butt if couple of bad tree kicks.
Yeah, especially if you get off to the left side. The left side is really bad. There's a bit of a slope downhill. It's the same hillside that you're going down behind hole 10. And if you get down there, it's really tough. There's a lot of trees and not a lot of lines.
Joe got a pretty tight shot. That's not bad considering what he had to work with there. Owen's got a little bit more room to work with, I think, from where he's at. And I think he's putting it right down on the green.
Well, all right.
Shot.
Chris with a little lean-out shot.
Great drive, yeah. Just a little bit of an awkward stance that he had to take there, but still, that was a great out.
He's playing this hole just like you should. Yeah. Shout out to Dave Savage. Where's Waldo? Dave Savage.
And Joel gets down there. He should be able to hit that for a par. Matt's fourth shot, I believe.
Rockwell's looking really nice.
Yes. And
nice.
Gets it in, and it served its purpose there too. If you're trying to just throw something safe down on the green, and you maybe get an unfortunate roll away, that ball does its job and stops you.
That was another bird for Owen there. He's strung a bunch of them together.
5 in a row now.
I think so.
It's 4 or 5 in a row, something like he's I think sitting minus 16 currently.
Yeah.
So minus 16, minus 11 for Joel. Chris, that puts him up to minus 8 with that birdie. And unfortunately, Matt took a double on that one. That stinks.
Hole 13, they're playing the same tee that they played from the first round, par 3, 242. Probably plays a little bit longer because it's uphill. And they've got two options here. They can either take the hyzer line or they can take the more straight at it, slightly turnover kind of approach. But
like
Owen
that.
took the hyzer, and
that hyzer shot, I mean, since that gap got opened up, that's my preferred choice of route to throw. And it, if you're a righty, it just makes sense to do.
Yeah. So for round 2, this hole actually played a little bit easier for the MPO group. They averaged a 2.42.
That actually doesn't surprise me, just because, second round guys probably got a feel for what they needed to do after the first round. That was a great flick by Joel. That was
nice.
Perfect height, perfect distance. I mean, that thing just settled right underneath the basket. Matt, he looked like he hung it out a little bit, but he'll probably still have a putt from there.
For sure.
He's just on circle's edge. Chris can't quite convert.
It's a little high.
A little bit.
See if Owen can convert his fifth consecutive birdie, sixth consecutive
actually, I think
birdie?
that's number 6 for him. Yeah,
Joel's in.
He's on a roll.
Matt's in for bird. Was that for bird?
I don't think that. I think
that
was
was
his par save there.
I think that was a par save.
Speaking of Gatekeeper, subscribe to their channel on YouTube. They have a lot of great content. They cover disc golf on the East Coast pretty heavily, and even they've made some trips out to Colorado before, too.
Yeah, they covered the Colorado State Championships, which is awesome. Moving on to hole 14, sponsored by Willow Street Car Wash. They're playing from the gold tee, so par 5, 732 feet. They're going to play essentially a big hyzer up the hill.
It's something where you probably want to be throwing somewhat of a higher speed driver. You just don't need to throw it as hard as humanly possible, right? Because you need the shot after you reach the top of the hill to hyzer out pretty quickly to set yourself up for the second tunnel shot going back down the hill.
Owen's doing exactly what we just talked about.
Yep, he's right at the
That's right where you want to be.
That's a pretty solid shot.
Hole 14 averaged a 4.47 for the MPO players for round 2.
Interesting, Joel's going with a flick shot off the tee pad here. He's going to have to throw it on an angle and force it over just a little bit, but boy,
got him to a spot.
And
good spot.
Like I had said before, you don't need to throw it as hard as you can. You just need to place something right at that gap. If you can make it up farther, well done, but
Chris got to get up there too.
It's going to have a little bit of awkward positioning next to that tree, but this par 5, you have a little bit of forgiveness here and still get the 4.
Hopefully Matt got to the top of the hill there. That gives him a line. Looks like it. Yeah.
And he staying tree free. Looks like that was a pretty darn good shot.
Yeah, he got around.
He's going to definitely have an opportunity to get up and down for a 4. Looks like Joel, he's winding up, and
did we have any eagles that you heard of for this?
None that I heard of on this hole. It's definitely possible.
Yeah, it's happened.
I've done it once. I've seen it done before, but I didn't actually hear of anybody getting the 3.
Didn't either.
That was a beautiful, just smooth, straight shot by Chris. And even if he does catch a tree, he got most of the way down the hill. He should be able to get up and down to get the 4.
That was a nice approach from
Yes.
Joel there.
Looks like Owen made it all the way down the hill. And
He's there.
yeah, he'll get his 4. Oh,
Just trying for it.
and
The
again,
Guardian Tree.
this is one of those holes where the 3 is there to be had. It's just a matter of how much you want to commit to going for that shot if you're close enough. Good 3 by, or good 4 by Chris.
Nice birdie.
Joel in for his birdie as well. Matt also with a birdie. And birdie for Owen. That's a star frame.
Shout out to Dave Savage.
Well done, guys. There's Dave. I think that's the first star frame of the round for the guys.
Yeah.
So that puts Owen at -18, Joel at -12. I think Matt was, or Chris was sitting at -9, and I didn't catch Matt's score.
Didn't catch it
overall.
either.
I think he was -7.
Hole 15, par 4. They're playing from the gold tee this round. 373 feet.
So
It's a big uphill.
Just a slightly more distance version of the silver tee pad. Guys most likely aren't going to be getting quite to the crest of the hill. So, and this one also, I think, requires a bit more of a disciplined drive.
Yeah. There's a couple spots that you can hit. There's maybe 2, maybe 3 lines that you can go to.
Yeah.
I would say 2 of them are more advantageous than others. Joel's going wide, which...
Yeah, I mean, at least for the most part for me, I know at least what my limitations are. I am usually just trying to throw it at the tree that's directly in the middle of the fairway, halfway up the hill, and let it hyzer out and then work from the left-hand side.
Right. I agree. I feel like the left-hand, not the far left-hand side, but left side of the fairway seems to be the most forgiving.
Uh-oh. Chris with a
Early
little bit of
kick.
an early release. If you do want to get max distance on this, if you can get something to flex over and still keep its height, and what Matt just did there, that's kind of generally what I try to do. If I can stay straight, that's great, but yeah, I feel like the left hand or the right hand side of the fairway is a bit trickier if you get too far over.
Yeah.
Catches an early tree, so Matt's going to be probably scrambling to try to get his 4.
Speaking of scramble, so one of the things that Aaron provided me with was some of the UDisc stats, and that showed that really what this whole round is about is the scramble. Can you scramble or not? If you can get your scramble game on, that's really what is going to set you up for success. Here at Muddy Run, at least.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of holes where I see that coming into play. Hole 10, hole 12, hole 11. I mean, those tighter fairways that are fairly densely wooded, having the ability to having an array of shots and being able to get out of trouble is really what will be the difference maker.
Yeah. So let me throw these little stats out. For all 4 of these players, their scramble for the whole round, percentage-wise. So Joel Freeman had a 75% scramble rate. Chris Villa had a 40% scramble rate. Owen had a 100% scramble rate.
What does that even mean? My God.
And then Matt Dorsey had a 40% scramble rate.
So Joel walks out of that one with the lone birdie, putting him at -13.
Yeah, the Sirius Scorpius. One of the best discs in my bag. One of my favorite discs to throw. I'm pretty honored to be able to have the opportunity to have a signature series Scorpius in the Sirius plastic coming out next year. So ask your local retailer and pick one up, let them fly.
All right, we are back. Hole 16, I would say, is arguably the most fun hole to throw on the course.
Yes, this is the hole that we empty our bags on whenever we
Every
play around here.
So it's a par 4, 737 feet, and they're just going to be crushing out over a big wide open area from an uphill standpoint, which is just a ton of fun.
Name of the game here is throw hard and throw far.
Yep. Interesting little stat here about the averages on this. These players played the same tee pad first round, and they improved their average. So on the whole, the entire MPO group of players averaged a 3.52 compared to a 3.63 on the first round.
Huh. Looked like that tee shot for Owen came out of his hand a little bit early.
Some of you may have caught the little teaser that Gatekeeper put out around Thanksgiving for our MP40 coverage. Tony C hit a glorious two from this gold tee pad, which is great. So I'm excited. If you didn't see that, you should see it on the MP40 coverage that'll be coming out later on.
Had to have been every bit of a 280-foot plus shot that
Yeah,
he threw.
it was great.
That was awesome.
His reaction is great too. He's just kind of like, "Oh, okay,
Business as usual." Here's Owen for his second shot. He's got a pretty good amount of distance to cover there. He's just on the edge of getting up into the green. Yeah,
Shout out to Dave Savage there.
Definitely see the rain coming down now.
Yeah. They've got their umbrellas up, ready to go.
Matt Dorsey with his second shot.
He's got a bit of a pump from there. He's not far from the...
Oh, he's close. Oh, he's
on the
actually
backside.
he's just up against the fence. He'll have a putt for birdie there. Chris with a stand and deliver.
Nice and low.
Yep. And he is right in there.
Excellent shot.
And Owen, he
made a run for it.
He was committed. Now he's got a bit of a big comeback here.
Just off it.
And that's got to be his lone bogey of the round so far, if I'm
I think
not
so.
mistaken.
I think he's been pretty on point the whole time.
See if Matt can convert the bird. And he's got that tree just in front of him.
Oh, no.
Yes.
I've been there. I've done that.
The tree.
It's so frustrating when that
Joel
happens.
gets in for his birdie.
Nice
yeah,
birdie.
that even though, I mean, again, this is a wide open hole, but once you get into that green area, it it closes in a little bit on you.
It does. There's a bunch of really nice trees in there that play guardian. Nice birdie from Chris. Matt's in for par.
Yeah, definitely, in my mind, the most fun hole in the course, 16. Yeah. So that drops Owen to 17 down, Joel up to 14 down, Chris at -10, and Matt at -8. So Joel trying to close the gap a little bit here.
Yeah. Hole 17, again, they're playing from the same tee pad that they played from the first round.
Sponsored by Bomburgers.
Yeah, these guys are going to be trying to play a big hyzer. They want to set themselves up for the second shot. That's really the key here off the tee.
He's probably a little bit of more of a straighter shot than what he wanted there.
Yeah. Overall, the MPO players improved their overall average for this hole. First round, they had 3.94, and they brought that down to a 3.68.
Nice.
So they must have figured out
Learning from their
how to
mistakes.
handle it.
Matt is probably, it's a little bit low. He's not going to quite be in that sweet spot where he wants to be to get up and down for the birdie. And Owen, he flipped that one over. Owen is going to have to scramble.
Yes. We heard
Let's
earlier.
see that 100%.
Let's see that 100%. Matt had to play high there. 'Cause he had
Yeah.
that tight. If you don't set yourself up, it makes that second shot
From
really
where
difficult.
he's at, yeah, you have to throw something really high and really understable and get it to loft back, and that's just a difficult spot to be
Looks
in.
like Joel punched through. That was a nice shot from where he was.
Easily be able to get up and down for his par there. He might even have a birdie run. Oh, that cheater!
Geez.
Cheater!
There's that 100%
That
scramble.
is awesome. Yeah, that's that is why he was 100% scramble.
That was a nice up from Chris. He's a little bit back, but he had himself set up nicely for that next shot.
That should be an easy par for Joel. Matt getting up and down. That was his third shot, so he should easily be able to get in for par. This is a tough birdie putt. Oh,
Nice
and
run.
just misses. And Owen
Getting that birdie.
back on the birdie train.
He said, after that last one. Matt in for par. Umbrella in hand, getting his par, Mr. Chris Villa.
Yeah, I mean, even though this isn't the, I think, craziest hard course in the world, it's fair, but it's not easy either.
You have to work for it.
You do, and the guys who do the best out here, it's a matter of who can string the most birdies together. That's the bottom line.
But yeah, it's there's a lot of different shots that you need to have in your arsenal to be able to really capitalize on some of those birdie advantages, and you need to be able to deal with some tricky situations if you get there.
Yes.
So if you can put all that together, it's possible for you to score really well here, but you need to do that and do it consistently.
In my mind, the fairways are fair. Wow,
Whoa,
that was
nice
just a
flick by Joe
bullet,
there.
and it looked like it stuck in the ground right next to the basket.
I like the angle here. It's interesting. It's like you got the darkness of the woods, and then you get the bright in the open.
Reminds me of the Shire in Lord of the Rings.
The Shire. MPO players for second round here averaged 2.94 the second round. So their average actually went up from a 2.78.
Interesting.
Perhaps that was due to some of the misting and a little bit of the rain.
Possibly. Owen throwing up safely to the base of the bucket. Matt pretty much doing the same.
Going high. Interesting.
Ooh, it's still got a little roll away there too. There he
And he's
goes.
in. That's a daunting putt from that side where he's at,
Yes.
because you're shooting uphill a little bit, and with that
I
raised
hate that
basket,
putt.
it's like, ugh. Matt's in for par.
Boy, I hope Joel doesn't suffer any head trauma from picking up his driver and putting it in the basket. Man, be careful, Joel. Great drive. That's impressive. Then that's why the flick shot is, if you have it, use it on this hole.
Definitely. So he's taking, what, lone birdie? Shout out to David Savage there.
So, tightening again. Joel getting back a stroke. So we're minus 18, minus 15 now. Owen and Joel. So hole 1, it's 474 feet. Again, not the longest par 4 in the world, but it has enough uphill elevation, and I believe the drive requires placement, in my opinion.
I agree.
You can choose, if you have the arm, to what looks like Joel's doing and try to get it up the side of the hill. And if you have the arm to do it, it cuts off a lot of distance. But your average player is probably gonna try to get it out straight, keep it a little bit short of that high funky grass area, and try to maintain footing for the second shot.
Yeah. I've gotten myself to the point where you're on the hill, and you feel good because you got it far, but you end up standing at that shot and going, oh man, like the footing on this is not great.
And you're probably forced to throw maybe a one-step shot or a stand and deliver.
Yeah. Where if you keep yourself back just a wee bit, you can really set yourself up for a more comfortable throw, I think.
Yeah.
Average for the MPOs this round on hole 1 was a 3.84.
Okay.
For hole 1 here.
And again, what we were just talking about, sacrificing that footing for distance. If you have the power with a stand and deliver shot, I'm sure it's not a huge deal, but Owen, he got a hoverboard. Chris,
he was almost.
Top of that hill and that green look fantastic.
By the way. Yes, it does. That's a shout out to Ryan Neff for that. He did a tremendous job helping us prepare the course for the event this past year.
Matt, not quite getting up into where he wanted to. Just missing his 3-putt. I know that's he definitely needed that to try to get back in contention with Owen.
Just a little bit too right.
Leave him a little bit of meat on the bone. And Owen, there we go.
Nice putt. Nice birdie. He's solidifying it at this point.
Yes. Yeah, his putting both rounds was pretty darn solid.
Yeah. He's been able to put it together. His scramble at 100%, stringing all the birdies that he's put together. His putting allowed him to do that.
And some really impressive
nice birdie from Chris there.
Get out of trouble approach shots that he had to set himself up for birdies that most mere humans would not have a prayer in the world.
Shout out to Dave Savage. Interesting tidbit about
good putt
stats. Owen was the only player in the second round to get any Circle 2 putts. His Circle 2 putt percentage was 25%.
Wow.
Yep.
So that Circle 2, that's like 40-ish feet and out. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
So going into the final hole, we've got Owen at -19. I missed the rest of them.
I think Joel was -15. I did not catch the other two. Sorry, gentlemen.
They are playing again from the gold tee pad. Par 4, 562 feet. And if we're looking
sure it's longer, I feel like the footage got messed up on that, but maybe it's just me.
Hole 2, they actually did worse than they did on the first round. The MPO average for round 2, hole 2, was 4.05.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That little bit of rain.
Yep.
Yeah. could definitely affect drives for sure. And the impromptu OB that we had in between 1 and 2. Oh, Chris held on to that just a little bit long. It looks like he's gonna flex back in time, but yeah, definitely something I think about when I'm teeing off from that tee pad is don't let it go too early. Don't hold on to it too long.
Yep.
It looks like Joel, that's a really good rip. He's gonna be happy with that. That's he's getting full flight on that one.
He looked disappointed though.
Oh, it's 50 feet shorter than last time. Really, that's a very, very good shot.
Yeah, he'll have a great spot position for his approach there.
Matt, a little bit more height on that. I think he would have gotten probably another 60 or 70 feet out of that.
Yeah. Just on that outside.
It looked like he had the distance for it. Yeah, just a little bit too much height on it, which one thing, again, we have hole 16 and hole 2 are both very wide open holes, but approaching the green with that little cluster of trees around him.
Redemption for Chris Villa there. His first round. He had
the double
some
roll.
Unfortunate rollaways there, so it's good to see that he came back and
Owen
conquered it.
Sealing the deal here? Yeah, I'd say so. Great shot.
Nice and low. That's the way you want to approach that, for sure.
Yes, too many times I've gotten cut down by those low hanging limbs. But that's part of the reason we keep them there, to make the hole more challenging.
Yep.
If any of those trees ever
Joel
fall
in
down,
for his birdie.
we are going to have to reposition the basket. And Owen for the win. That was impressive to watch. And that 10 down on the round is the course record at Muddy Run.
It is. On the gold layout, yeah. Well, these guys are wrapping up some of their putts. I just want to throw a couple thanks out. I want to thank Derek and Chris from Gatekeeper for coming down and providing coverage for the event. I think people really appreciate seeing that, so thank you guys so much for doing that. I definitely want to thank all the hole sponsors for making it possible for us to get the coverage. Shout out to Dave Savage there. I just saw that. I want to definitely give a shout out and a thank you to all of the volunteers from Lancaster Area Frisbee Sports. They helped us make sure the course was in great shape, and also helped us out with a ton of stuff the day of to make sure that all the players had what they needed. And we want to thank Muddy Run Park, all of their employees, for working with us for lunches, and the maintenance crew for making sure the course looked excellent for the event.
Which it did. Thank you guys. Thank you all the volunteers, and we'll see you again sometime, hopefully.
See ya.